Now, Turkey has cancelled a planned visit by the Swedish defense minister, adding further doubt over Ankara's support for Sweden joining NATO. The meeting was originally planned when the two defense ministers met at Ramstein, Germany, on Friday. Turkey says the cancellation was in reaction to a protest outside the Turkish embassy on Saturday, where a far-right activist burned the Quran. The protest was approved by the Swedish police. Let's get Turkey's view from our correspondent, Julia Han in Istanbul. Hello, Julia. It can be argued that Turkey is on good terms with other Western nations critical of Erdogan and that protect Kurdish dissenters. So why this strong reaction to Sweden in this case?
Well, this is just the latest backlash from Turkey. The background to this story is the larger diplomatic conflict over Sweden and Finland's bids for NATO membership. The two countries want to join the military alliance in the face of Russian aggression in Ukraine. But NATO member Turkey has been blocking the process so far because the Turkish government says Sweden and Finland, and Sweden in particular, are not doing enough against groups which Ankara considers as terrorists, including the militant Kurdish PKK. Now, when it comes to what happened today, I should mention that Stockholm and Ankara have very different understandings of freedom of expression. Sweden has a very extensive definition. They have allowed this right-wing extremist politician to protest. He has burned a Quran, Islam's holy book, in public. It remains to be seen whether that will have any political, legal consequences for him. But this is seen as something very offensive by many Muslims, not only here in Turkey. Turkey already summoned the Swedish ambassador over this issue yesterday, and today we've heard some very angry reactions. President Erdogan's spokesperson, for example, called it, and I quote him here, a clear crime of hatred, and it has nothing to do with freedom, according to him. And of course, all of that makes it more difficult for the Swedish government to make progress overcoming Turkey's objections to Sweden's bid for NATO membership.
Right. Quickly on this one, as you just ended with that, where does this leave Sweden's NATO membership application?
Well, that's the big question. Turkish officials have repeatedly said that they are not opposed to NATO enlargement per se, but they have turned Sweden and Finland's bids into a bigger story. They've realized that they have political leverage here and they're willing to use it. And I should mention that important elections are coming up here in Turkey in May. As it looks, this is seen as a crucial and difficult test for President Erdogan, and he uses this entire issue, that's what analysts say, to present himself as the strongman who stands up to the so-called West, who can stand up to NATO and press for Turkish demands. So the Turkish elections play a role here as well. So we don't expect anything to move on this NATO issue until after the elections here in Turkey.
Okay, Julia Han in Istanbul. Thank you.